Today's all about amazing Italian comfort food.
Homemade cannelloni pasta with amazing tomato meat sauce.
And can we please talk about that spinach and ricotta filling?
Yes.
I don't want to just talk about it. I want to make it and eat it. You're about to.
Yes.
So let's get making this meat sauce. So I've got a nice large skillet here with 2 tablespoons of olive oil that I've heated over medium heat, and I've got, this is about a half a cup to a cup of chopped onion, and I'm going to cook this until it gets nice and soft.
Yeah, while that's cooking, I'm going to take care of the ricotta spinach stuffing. Oh, so good. We've got our spinach here that we had some adult spinach, and we took the stems off of them, and we threw them into a large skillet, threw some water in there first, and then threw in the spinach on top just so that it could steam and wilt.
We did a lot of throwing.
Yeah, throw it in there and throw it in there. And then
we did about half to three quarters of a cup of water.
And it stayed in there until it got all mushy. And then it wilted. And then we drained it with all that excess water. And I'm going to actually, there's still a lot of water in here, so I'm just going to give this a quick. You want to squeeze
as much of that water out as you possibly can.
Look at all that water.
So it doesn't make your filling kind of soupy.
Now I'm just going to give this a quick chop.
Yes.
A chop, and then I'm getting better with my knife skills, everybody. 32 ounces of ricotta, whole milk ricotta. Then I threw in my chopped spinach, and now I've got a cup of grated Parmesan. Yum. 2 eggs. Here we go.
They've been lightly
beaten.
I'm throwing in over here 2 cloves of garlic that have been minced.
And I'm just going to mix this.
You need a healthy pinch of salt.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
A big old pinch.
Yeah, and then a healthy pinch of pepper.
Yes. I'm going to do a little more salt. I like a good salty filling.
Okay, that's looking good. That filling is to die for. And what's awesome about both the sauce and this filling is you can make it in advance. I often do that and then come back later and do the pasta. Okay, so now let's add meat to this meat sauce. We're using a combination of Italian sausage. This is
so good.
You can use sweet, you can use hot. We're going with a sweet Italian sausage, and that's a half a pound. So if they're in links, you just take them out of the links, and for a half a pound, that's like 2.5 links. This is a half a pound, just some nice ground sirloin. You want to go?
I didn't know. I thought you used all sausage.
No, it's a mixture. It's a combination.
Oh,
yeah. If you really wanted to get like really cool and awesome, you could do also a little veal in there. But we're going with sausage and beef today. So we're going to cook this until it's no longer pink.
I got this good and mixed up.
You got that good. You can cover that, or you just keep it in the fridge.
Yes.
And we'll keep building this sauce. Okay, so this is no longer pink. It smells so good. I love that smell of Italian sausage. So I had pretty lean beef, and the sausage didn't render a lot of grease, but there was some. So all I do is I just tilt the skillet to the side, get a big old spoon, and drain most of it out. You can leave some in there because there's flavor in there, in that grease.
There's flavor in there.
Okay, so now in the old grease, this is 28 ounces of tomato puree. Puree can be found in the tomato section of like canned tomato section, really of all tomato stores, well-stocked supermarkets. I can't talk today. Now this is, these are whole tomatoes. These are San Marzano. You can find them again in the tomato section.
We're breaking them with hands.
Someone told me years ago that they're better if you break them by hand.
This one's a stiff one.
And they're going to break down as they cook too. So
I know,
it's not a big deal. It is fun to
get in there and get all earthy.
And who am I to say, no, that's not going to work? I believe it. So I'm going to use this to dry off my hands.
I'll take it after.
Okay, all right. Let's get this out of the way. You got all of the sauce out of there. Okay. All right. Moving right along.
That's messy.
It is. But it's fun. Now we've got, this is such an easy sauce. This isn't a complicated sauce. This is a tablespoon. I just pulled me out some Italian seasoning. You could do just oregano if you wanted to. I'm going to do a nice healthy teaspoon of salt, about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to stir that around. And
this sauce is so good.
It's really flavorful. It's not a real complicated sauce.
How much salt did you put in there?
I put in a teaspoon, kind of a heaping teaspoon. You'll want to taste it later to make sure that you got enough in there.
You probably put a little more in, I think.
Oh, you think?
I don't know.
We'll see. So anyway, now we're going to let this simmer. I've got, this is a quarter cup of fresh basil.
Yes, I love the taste of that.
I do too. And I'm just going to stir that in. And we're going to let this simmer. All it needs to simmer is like 20 minutes, and then you're good to go. And again, you can do the filling and the sauce well in advance.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna come back and make pasta.
Some pasta.
Yay! Okay, it's one of my favorite times of all. It's time to make pasta.
I love it.
So we are doing the old food processor method. You can do this by hand, but the food processor makes it so easy, and we're gonna show you how in just a moment. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go over here and check out my my sauce. I've got it simmering. It smells so good.
Yes, it does, y'all.
It's basically ready. So, okay, so let's make pasta. I have got a cup of semolina flour. You can use just all-purpose if you want, but semolina, it just gives this smoothie, silky, delicious texture to the pasta that I think is heavenly. And you can find it in the flour section. And really, I see it everywhere. So that was a cup of that. This is a half a cup of all-purpose flour. And then we've got a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And now all I'm going to do, I just need to get that good and combined. You're not going to believe how easy this is. So many people think, I can't make homemade pasta. Wait till you see how easy it is.
You can with a food processor.
You can.
What if people don't have a food? Well, they just use their hands.
Well,
like the old Italian ladies.
You do. You make a well of this, and then you put the eggs in the middle, and you start working. I've done that. It's fun. It's even kind of like therapeutic. But this is just so easy. I'm like, why not do it this way? Okay, I've got one egg that was lightly beaten. And now I'm going to add another egg that is lightly beaten. And it's going to start adding the moisture to the pasta. Now, if you can help me, you don't want to get too wet because you're going to have a problem if your dough.
Do this at the same time?
Yeah. So let's just say before we do this, this is 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and he's got 2 tablespoons of water. And that's all.
At the same time?
Yeah. Go ahead and pour it in. You don't have to do them simultaneously, but. Now, why not? Put the Loon to good work to use. So now we're going to keep this will eventually, you just keep pulsing it like this, and it's eventually going to form a little ball.
That is awesome.
Isn't it great? And there you go. Now we have got beautiful, beautiful pasta dough. There is some, it's like, to me, it's similar to making bread. There is just something therapeutic and transcendent about it. It just makes you feel so happy.
Put it all right here so people can see.
So now we're just going to get it out of there, and we're going to form a ball with this. Now it needs to sit and just kind of rest for a little bit. So I'm going to hand it over to the Loon.
Yeah. Am I going to cut it into 4?
Yes, you're going to cut it into 4. So this, this is a good time to tell you right now while you're doing that.
Yeah.
This dish, this recipe that we're making, it feeds a good 8 people, maybe even more, depending on how hungry your folks are or not hungry. So you can use like 2 9x13 pans. You can fill them with the cannelloni. We're going to just, for the sake of us, we're just going to do half the recipe. So we're going to use half the sauce, half the filling, and half the pasta. That pasta dough freezes beautifully, so go ahead and make it, and then, pull it out, and then thaw, and then you've got homemade pasta.
You do that all the time.
You do. I do all the time. So, okay, so we're going to let that rest for about 10, 15 minutes while we get our little pasta making station set up, and then we're really going to make pasta.
Yes.
Okay, so now moving right along. So now we've got out another trusty tool. Making pasta is so much easier when you've got some tools to help you along.
Yes.
This is our KitchenAid stand mixer. I've had this, I think this was a wedding gift.
A long time.
28 years ago.
No, not that old.
Well, I've had it a long time, and they're not cheap, but have I ever gotten my money's worth? This is an attachment.
And it's 32 years, it's not 28.
32 years, right. I know I didn't get it 32 years ago. No one had any, we didn't have no money back then. Anyway, in this, you just crank it on, and it turns it like that. It's so cool. We used to, back in the day, we had a hand crank pasta maker that he hated.
No, because it took 2 of us, and you'd crank it, and every time you'd come around, you'd hit my arm.
I know. And
so I'd have a bruise.
He was bruised.
It was the pasta bruises.
Or you could do it really the old-fashioned way and just roll the pasta flat and then cut it with a sharp knife or a pizza cutter. But we're going to do it the sort of the modern way, which is really, really easy. So okay, so now I have got this dough. I've liberally placed some flour down here because this pasta was a little on the wet side, but that's okay. The flour, I'd rather it be a little wetter than a little too dry, because if it's too dry, then it I don't know, becomes mealy and it's not really that great. This right now is, we're kneading the pasta, and it's going to just start forming that perfect, it transforms into dough. So you just fold one side.
How many times do you fold it?
You want to do it enough. I used to do it like 10 times, but that's not necessary.
It's almost like your biscuits. pile on your
my
biscuits?
southern biscuits. Yeah, it's the same sort of concept. It's just you're integrating all of those. You can see it already. It starts to become really smooth and really elastic, and that's what you want. And then when we start putting this through the pasta maker, then it becomes pasta. It's so cool. All right, so now we've got our attachment.
I'm ready.
I know you are. We've got our attachment set to the whitest setting, which on this one is a 1. And I think we're good. We can.
I'm going to sprinkle a little.
You don't even have to do that. But
oh, well, I did it.
He did
we used to.
But I know, but these things, they have the material so they don't stick. So now we're going to, now watch, it'll stick.
It probably will. All right.
And that's about the right size. As it flattens, it will widen. Beautiful,
there
beautiful,
we go.
beautiful. And it's okay if the edges are a little crooked like that. They will smooth out. Now
You're going to take it?
I'm going to take it back again. And we're just going to keep doing that until it starts.
Ooh, this is so much fun. I get nervous though.
He does. He gets nervous. I love just on a Sunday afternoon when he's in there sleeping with the dogs or whatever.
I'm not always sleeping on a Sunday afternoon.
If it's a quiet day, which is rare, but you know, and just go in and just make some pasta. There's just something about it. Before your very eyes, you've taken these humble ingredients and you've transformed it into a beloved food item that has been around for centuries. I just think there's something, I guess it's the foodie in me that loves it so much.
This is so awesome.
You get the kids involved. You know, you can have everyone over. It can be a pasta making party. You can do this in advance too. We're gonna do this one more time. You see how it's getting that smooth, just beautiful pasta feel to it.
I see it, Longwell.
Okay. All right, one more time, and then we're gonna start flat.
Oh, then we do that.
Then we start flattening her out.
Okay, so let's bring her in.
Okay. And see, widen, and you just get a beautiful sheet of pasta.
Okay. Now what?
Now we're going to knock it down to the next level, which is going to be a 2.
Okay.
You don't.
Do I push it in or pull out?
Yeah, pull out and then turn it. And what that does is that just it narrows the gap that's in there, and it just makes it thinner. We're now going to start compacting this pasta.
There we go.
You don't want to go so thick. I mean, it's the temptation. It's fun to do this. Sometimes if you get it all the way to the lowest setting, it's like literally like see-through paper, and it becomes very hard to work with. We're going to take this down to, I think, a 5.
We're at 3 right now.
Where there are 8 notches on this particular one. So isn't that beautiful?
Look at that.
So if you're thinking, I love doing this, you guys are great in doing this, but I just don't have time.
Bring me down a notch.
I don't have time to make pasta. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll just get lasagna sheets and then boil them up, and you can cut the edges off or not and just use pasta like that in place of this. But trust me, there is something magical about this homemade pasta. Okay, let's do one more. You good?
Oh, I'm good.
You got the arm, the arm span?
You might have to help me with holding on to this.
Having a helper, if you don't have a helper, you could just easily cut that in half and do this in two batches.
Look at that.
It's beautiful.
How
see
fabulous.
How I can kind of start to see my hand underneath it. You really don't want to go any thinner than this.
There we go.
Okay, that's
now
beautiful.
I'm going to take this and lay it down here. Here we go.
Be careful with it. But by this point, it shouldn't be sticky. It shouldn't be sticky. It's
now
delicious.
I'm going to start from down here.
Okay.
This is 6 inches, so my hand, from my index to my thumb, is about 6 inches. And that's how far I want to go. Or yeah, my middle finger, the bird, if you will.
Okay. So I'm going to say that's about a 6-inch by 4-inch rectangle. And what we're going to do, I've got some more of the semolina over here on my, I got a baking sheet that I've lined with parchment paper. You don't have to do it with a parchment paper, it just kind of helps. And sprinkle it with some semolina. That's going to help keep any of the pasta that we're putting here while it rests from sticking to each other.
Here we go, look at that. So we got 4 pasta sheets out of that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Each one of these is going to make a manicotti. I mean, a cannelloni. Sorry, cannelloni.
Our manicotti is a crepe.
Okay, that's good. And then we're just going to cover. I just have a damp kitchen towel here. Don't want to have it too wet. You don't want to sop it, but just you don't want it to dry out. So now we're going to repeat with this one, and then it's time to make cannelloni. Okay, so now we've got our pasta pot full of liberally salted water, nice rolling boil, and we're just going to drop these in. Now you're gonna the semolina. We did the other ball, and we covered these, not covered them, but sprinkled semolina on it. That will fall off of the pasta when they are boiling. These do not. Fresh pasta does not take long, like only about 3, maybe 5 minutes.
Grab the bottom sheet.
Not long at all. And you want to be careful with them because they are a little
delicate.
A little delicate, yeah. So I just use kind of some
rubber
tongs.
Don't
overdo it, and let them just kind of sit as they will. And then we're going to drain them. I'm going to hit them with a little oil, and then we build the cannelloni.
Yes.
We're getting so close.
It's assembly time.
It is assembly time. We got homemade pasta.
Y'all, look at this nice sheet of pasta that I'm going to make into a cannelloni.
It's gorgeous. So while he's doing that,
I'm going to just give it a little pat.
So all we did was it literally only took like 3 minutes. You can tell it gets kind of just that fluffiness to it, and you know when it's done.
Yes.
And you just want to be gentle with it. So then I very carefully drained it, let the water just go off of the pasta. Then I went ahead and brought it over to the sink. I cooled it with a little tap water because the Loon doesn't like his fingers to get too hot. Then what I did,
delicate.
He's delicate. You go ahead and start adding it. So that's the filling.
I'm going to put like 3 big spoonfuls on here.
It depends on the size of your sheets and all, but typically 3 nice. I'd say that's more than a tablespoon, probably a half a cup you're putting in there.
Yep.
Anyway, and then I normally don't cook my pasta with olive oil. Sometimes people do that. They add a little oil, just keeps it from sticking. Nothing wrong with that. I just sometimes think it imparts a little bit of a flavor, but I do not want these to stick to each other. So I did put a little bit of neutral oil in the bottom of a ceramic bowl, tossed that pasta in there, and then tossed it around. And
here it is.
And there they are.
I'm going to roll this up now. This is very delicate action going on here.
It is.
I'm just basically rolling a pipe.
It's like I always say these are like Italian enchiladas. Here's my beautiful sauce that was simmered and has just been hanging out waiting for us to use it. So now like I said, I've got a 9x13 dish. I'm going to use probably half of this sauce. If you're serving this at a dinner party, you could absolutely have 2 of these 9x13 and you're going to be the hit of the town. Okay, so I'm just putting a thin layer that we are going to
get it to about right here.
That we're going to then so orderly.
I'm very bossy when it comes to the cannelloni.
Yeah. Okay.
You ready, Freddie?
I'm ready. Okay.
Right.
So, oh boy, that's nice.
That's nice and rolled up. You were jabbing our way while I was rolling up this piece of art.
Well, that's usually the way it is.
This art.
It is a piece of art.
Yeah, so I want to break this over here. But you see the seam there? I want to make sure that's down.
Seam side down. Seam side down.
And I'm going to go right here because I think we can get 6 in here.
We can typically, again, the size of your cannelloni, but you can get 6 per 9x13. We did made sure we cut an extra couple of sheets just in case one rips. If one does rip, you can still roll it. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, and I'm just drying it off a little bit.
That's right. Okay, we're going to continue till we fill this pan, and then we're getting really close.
Yes.
Oh, those look so good.
Yes.
So we had a couple left over, which is no problem.
And see, some might have a hole here, but when you roll them up, nobody will see that hole.
They're easy to, if they get a little tear in them, they're easy to work around. So I was going to say we did have a couple left. These really serve about 2 cannellonis per.
Are you trying to take over?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you told me to do that.
Well, I did, but I forgot it would take 2 days. So anyway, what I was saying is we could have gotten 2 more in here, and that would have served 4 people. But we're going to do 2 people, which is 3 cannellonis.
We planned that accordingly.
That's the way we work. So, okay. So you want just nice, the way we like to do it is leave the ends kind of.
Yeah, you want to see the cannelloni.
So it gets exposed and it gets a little crispy. Now I've got about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese here that we're going to sprinkle on top. Probably not use all of it. And then we'll sprinkle a little more. So I've got my oven when I've got my oven preheated to 375 degrees, it's going to bake for 40 minutes, and then it's pasta.
I know.
Perfection.
Oh, it's so good.
It is. Oh, the smell.
Cannelloni time.
I tell you. Oh, look at that.
Those look so good.
They look beautiful. The smell is just, I swear, if I had a Nonna. I would think this is what the kitchen would smell like.
Yes, it would. Look at that.
Isn't that beautiful? I love how they get a little crisp on the edges. That's the cannelloni. I love the thinness of it. It's just, we got a little fresh parsley here. And I'm going to give just a little of this now, and I'll give you a little more.
That's all right.
Isn't that beautiful? Okay, now we're going in. You're ready for molten lava? Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I know you are. If anyone,
Bring it.
Anyone can, this is always nerve-wracking.
Which way are you doing it? I'm going to drip out the ends.
Well, all right.
Here, do it this way.
Okay.
There we go. There you go. Oops. Here we go. I got it. Okay. Just give me one at a time.
Okay, I'll do one at a time.
Plus, they got a lot of sauce on that. That's good.
Help me get that on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now let me give you. There you go. Now we're talking.
Oh, y'all.
Isn't that beautiful?
I am dying.
And the texture,
I thought you usually have a little sauce here sitting next to everybody.
Oh, well, I could have. There's a little sauce in there. Do you want a little sauce?
No, I'm good. I was just looking for it. Like, where is it?
I know. Well, I got a little spoon here. We can just.
Yes, that is a very small spoon.
There you go. I don't think you need any more sauce.
I do need more cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Boy, I'm so excited about this.
You guys, look at that. Freshly made pasta.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. You could also do the smaller versions of these, and they could make a lovely appetizer.
Okay.
Okay, I think we've stalled enough.
I don't know if I need my fork or knife.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'll get a little of this sauce too.
Oh, I gotta get a little sauce on that.
Oh, yeah.
A little crispy edge there, Chris.
And it does get a little, I mean, talk about cutting like butter.
I gotta blow on this.
Oh, shoot.
Hey, you pulled a me.
I know. It's because I'm so excited.
Oh, wow. These are a little molten lava, y'all.
Okay, here we go. I'm not bad. Oh my gosh. Incredible.
I love it. I love this. You know why I love it so much?
Why?
Because you used a meat sauce. So this isn't 100%.
Oh, and I told him we were doing cheese and
vegetarian
spinach cannelloni. He was like, well,
where's the meat? Where's the beef?
It's coming. Oh my God.
Y'all, that pasta is so fresh. I just gotta, I gotta break up this because it's hot.
I do have to say, the pasta really takes up. I mean, the flavor combination is good. That homemade pasta.
I just smacked my lips.
We heard.
You guys, one more bite.
Isn't that filling delicious too? It all just goes together so well.
I hope you all can see how delicious this looks. Oh, it is so good. This is 100,000% Loon approved. Yeah! So good.
It is amazing, you guys. It's fun. It's perfect Sunday night dinner. It's so much of it you can make in advance. It's fun. It's great. It brings the family together.
Yes, and they look like little enchiladas, Italian enchiladas.
They do. I know. I said that earlier.
Oh, you did.
All right, you guys. We love you so much. Make cannelloni. Don't say you can't make cannelloni.